Next up, the Italians. And so we think about what is it that you have that's made in Italy? Most people don't have much of anything. It might be like a super expensive belt, maybe a pair of shoes, very luxurious, or maybe a watch. But Italian stuff is very characteristic. This is specialized. It's low production, low volume, but high quality. It's stuff that's very specialized. And so we think about its automobile industry, also very much like that as well. So we think Ducati. Ducatis aren't, it costs money to get a Ducati, is what I'm trying to say. You also have Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, these luxury brands in which they're not making tens of thousands of Lamborghinis each week. They're very low volume, but by gosh, they put a lot of work into the stitching, into every nook and cranny in that Lamborghini or Ferrari. So it's kind of something to think about in terms of the Italian, just the manufacturing industry kind of lends itself nicely for racing, making things that are specialized, high quality. And so because of that, there's a lot of race car suppliers that have also clustered in Italy. So Italy has its motorsports history, especially in the 50s and 60s. But it's also got, the key is these suppliers and these components. And so you've got things like Brembo brakes, which makes brakes for a lot of different things, but they make specialized, like IndyCar uses them, I believe. Ferraris historically used them in their F1 team. And so Brembo, they're not making mass quantities of brakes. Magneti Marelli, another company, very high-skilled, high-tech company. They're making very specialized automotive products. Dallara, an Italian company that makes race car-specific chassis, or bodies, let's just say, if you're not familiar, with single-seaters. So single-seater formula cars that are used throughout Europe, but also here in IndyCar. Dallara is a major producer of race car components, in this case chassis, and wings and other things that can break and they can make more money off of. Aerodynamic facilities, very specialized. They've got a few there in Italy, which are very, very, very sophisticated, very high-tech. Also, you have safety equipment. So companies that make driver suits, safety suits, crew suits, but also a lot of steering wheels, a lot of components and safety equipment that it goes into a race car. For example, OMP, Sparco, are Italian companies. And so you can kind of see what I'm getting at is the fact that there's this very large supplier, this very much specialized, which produce race car component parts. But these are, for the most part, smaller companies. These aren't major, huge companies. So what do they like in Italy in terms of their types of racing? Formula One's big. And so one of the things is they're very passionate about their Italian brands, and they're very passionate about Ferrari. So when Ferrari does well, boy, my gosh, the Italians, they love Formula One. They love watching, and the consumers and viewers, this goes up like crazy. When Ferrari doesn't win, they don't watch. And so the consumers and viewers are very much tied to the success of Ferrari. Also, you've got karting is very big in Italy, so it's much bigger in Italy than it might be in other countries of Europe. Also, motorcycle racing. If you go back to the very first slide, one of the things you saw in Italy is high number of four-wheel, but also motorcycles, especially compared to other European countries. So motorcycles are also a large use. Other things, you got sports cars, especially with Ferrari and Lamborghini, and these sports car manufacturers, slowly but surely, participating in more and more racing series across the world. But just in general, this is something you're going to see pop up in some of these countries, is things that are bigger than their industry. Italy's economy, Italy going forward, shaky times for Italians. So as Italy's economy goes, so does the industry.